This is my first time seeing you this session. My name is Mikayla Arciaga. I'm the Georgia Advocacy Director for IDRA. We are a independent, nonpartisan education policy and research nonprofit. Thank you all for taking comment from our students. They are from around DeKalb County, and I hope that that helped illustrate kind of why we do have some concerns about the local control aspect of this definition of unexcused absences. Again, you heard every school, even within a system, counts that a little bit differently, which could overwhelmingly and disparately impact different kids who may already be facing systemic barriers. We are not in opposition to this bill. We fully support the spirit of the bill, and especially the adoption of this multi-tiered system. I've shared some of my concerns already with Senator Dickerson. Sorry. Sorry, it's
all very similar.
And I apologize I didn't get to talk to more of you sooner. But we just have a few concerns again about clarifying some of the language around unexcused absences. We also wanted to raise some definitions around what Tier 2 is going to be, that threshold for what at risk will be. A multi-tiered approach is very appropriate for this situation, but if we don't know what it means to be at risk and we don't have mechanisms necessarily in place to make sure that parents and students are adequately notified that they are considered at risk, we lose some of the efficacy of this kind of model. And so we wanted to recommend clarifying that definition. Is that like how many absences does a student end up being at risk? Because there is a clear threshold for the chronically unexcused, but not for that middle ground area where they might be on the cusp, but not necessarily quite at that point yet. Another one we wanted to uplift, and I'm sorry I didn't get this to you sooner, is the definition of noncompliance. We recognize the value of these plans and the way in which they're trying to build accountability for young people and their families. We just have some concerns about what noncompliance is going to be defined as. If a plan has 5 key components that need to be met and a student meets 3 out of 5 of those, is that considered noncompliance? Does that mean they will not be eligible for a license because they weren't able to meet certain points of a plan? And that kind of leads to the last bit, which is I really do want to credit the amount of intention we can see in this bill, including parent input in both the opportunity to participate in attendance review teams, as well as in the report process. We would encourage a little more consideration just for what mechanisms parents have to dispute or hold accountable. Say this team is not meeting. I know that's set for monthly meetings. Mm-hmm. If for whatever reason a student and their family can't meet with this team on that schedule of a monthly meeting or whatever it may be, and I know there's some flexibility for how often they can meet, that then means that this child is no longer able to participate in their extracurriculars until that meeting. And so having some lever that parents can say, hey, we've tried to make this good faith effort. We've tried to set this meeting up. It hasn't happened. Can we have some sort of grace for our child who, I mean, I don't know. I was a band geek. I think some of you know that. Missing 2 months in marching season is a big deal. You can miss a lot in even a month if you're not able to go to rehearsals or go to practice. And so clarifying that, incorporating a little bit more like meaningful parent support for that. And finally, considering, some of you mentioned Mississippi and Alabama, I want to highlight that they paired their chronic absenteeism efforts and their literacy efforts with root cause analysis and support. So not only were they looking at how do we support reading and writing, how are we supporting families to participate in this, how are we getting kids to school, they were looking at why are kids not getting to school. A deeper, not just this compliance-driven sort of model, but is it a systemic barrier that is preventing them from getting to school? Right. Is it that, like, one of our students...
Thank you.
Yes,
thank you so much.